able to share some more information with you today that's going to help you to keep that canoe afloat and keep it from tipping over too bad when your service member gets back. What I want to do before we get started is just take a couple minutes, introduce yourselves, and the reason I want to do that is maybe there's somebody in the room that you haven't connected with that you might have that same type of relationship with, that you can build a network here today to help keep you strong for the rest of the deployment or the future deployments going forward. I can start why I'm here today, who I am, and what my relationship is to the military. I'm Sherry Rebaut, I'm a program manager with Military OneSource, and I'm just going to flip over to my main page here and get that presentation up for us. I work with all 54 states and territories with Military OneSource, and I share the information about the program with those Guard units, Reserve units, active duty units, to make sure that they're getting the same information that you're getting here today, that they can all keep their canoes afloat, and that they have resources out there in times of need and times of change. How I'm affiliated with the military? I have a sister, so I'm a family member, like some of you in here, that you might have a sister or a sibling over there. My sister's a pilot with the Air National Guard. I'm also a commander in the Air National Guard, so I serve just like some of the service members in uniform, and have troops that I'm concerned about, and have a resource for them to go to. With that, Rich, would you mind starting?
I'm Rich Owens, I'm from Austin. Our oldest son, Ben, is in National Guard.
And what does he come back?
It was the extension, so was it August? This
August? Okay,
like
July,
said,
August. So
everything's set in Java, is what he likes.
All right, that's very true, very true. Hurry up and wait and be ready for change. So we have a parent in the front.
Mr. Kavanaugh, our son is in the program. Probably the same place that his son is.
Oh, he's coming back about the same time. And is he married or single? Or? Single.
I'm Carrie Browick, and my husband's been an active duty due back in July or August.
Come on in, there's still some seats back over here. Can we come back up to the front? Oh, hi. Hi. I'm sorry. Your husband's deployed. Going back to... No, hi, no, oh, okay.
My name is Gertrude, and my son is active duty from out of Fort Riley.
Okay.
And he's in LSA in Norfolk, Baghdad.
Okay. So we have active duty parents, we have Guard parents, we've got spouses.
I'm his sister.
Okay. Sisters? Okay, great.
Aunt.
Aunt? Oh, you guys are awesome. Everybody's here. Going to back up?
My name is Paige Majeski, and my husband is in Toledo.
I'm Chaplain Tom Jensen with the Army National Guard.
Chaplain, are you in Minnesota?
I'm in Minnesota, right. So I'm a rear deck chaplain, temporary, and then also with my units. I'm with the RSG right now.
Great, thanks for coming.
I'm Jana Sosted, and our oldest son, Joe, is in Iraq with Minnesota National Guard, and our second to the oldest is with the Navy and floating around in parts unknown.
Great. I've got good information for you because the service, Military OneSource, is available to all service members and their families, regardless of the branch of service.
Hi, I'm Connie Rader. My boyfriend is in Iraq, and he's due back. He's at Toledo, and he's due back July, August.
I like that July, August, and Jello. I don't really know.
I'm still with Vic Malley, where our son is the National Guard, Minnesota National Guard. Been in for almost 17 years, and he's in Toledo. He'll be back in July.
Coming back to...
Oh, my name is Dan. My husband's SFC. James Neary, he's in Scania, Iraq. He left in 05.
So he's due back soon. Is he in the Jello mold in July, August? That he's coming back? Okay. Did I already get you here? Sounds good. Thanks. The reason that I wanted to go ahead and have everybody introduce themselves, one, it gives me a framework of the type of people that I'm briefing. Because Military OneSource does have such a broad range of services, that is it a girlfriend or boyfriend? Is it a spouse? Is it a leader within the group? I want to make sure that I tailor the briefing to make sure that I include everybody in the audience. Today what we're going to cover, I'm going to give you a little bit more framework about what Military OneSource is. Also, what's in it for you? What's in it for you as a parent of an active duty member versus a parent of a Guard or Reserve member? What's in it for a spouse? The big picture is that it's a resource that's available 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Whether it's through the website, whether it's by calling the phone number, or if it's going through our in-person counseling sessions. We have services available throughout all 4 of those venues, all 3 of those venues, but really that it's available to anyone within the military and their families. And then at the end I'm going to go through a website overview. I may have left you with a slip of paper like this. If you didn't get one, I have them up here. And what this will do is I'll get you signed up for a login and password for the website. It's kind of saving you one step so you don't have to go out and do that. Because by having a login and password to the website, you're going to be able to go out, order educational materials, as well as go online and search through different areas of the website that without a login and password you won't be able to do. It's very easy to go out and do that on your own, but it's just one step that I've taken care of for you. It's a tear and half sheet. You take one side home with you, and tomorrow you can go ahead and log in with your username and password. So I've got some of those up here as well. I also have a few topical sheets left. What these topical sheets include, deployment and reunion topics. So those are going to be some educational materials that apply to the deployments that are going on right now. And then one side, you might have couples on that side, which is applicable to couples, and you might have one that says military families. So different topics that relate to those issues. If you need one of these, I can hand those out. Anybody not get one that needs one? All set? Okay, sounds good. What is Military OneSource and what does it mean to you? It's an extension of existing military services. So when we talk about the chaplains, the family programs, the financial assistance offices, it's simply an extension of what is on the installation today. We've been providing this service since 1999 to the recruiting services. And what the recruiting services are, they're out there in the shopping centers and the strip malls. They're not on a base or on an installation. Very similar to the Guard and Reserve environment. We don't have a base that we go to. I'm a Guard member. I have a base that I go to 1 week in a month, but I don't live on that base. I don't have all of the resources available that somebody that's on active duty might have. So that's why DoD came out and said we need to provide something for those members that aren't living on the installations, and also for those members that need it at 2 o'clock in the morning. The service can be accessed either by the telephone, by going online, or also face-to-face, and that's where we talk about the Military OneSource counseling services. If it's by telephone, all the phones are staffed by master's level consultants that are answering those lines. They're trained in social work, they're trained in counseling, so when you pick up the phone and you call, you're going to get a live person answering that phone. That's going to be able to assist you with the type of counseling that you need, or the type of consulting that you need. It might be that you just are really having a hard time with the deployment and need somebody to talk to. You could talk to the cashier at the Walmart, or would you rather talk to somebody that's trained in counseling, has maybe experienced it in the past? It's 2 in the morning. The chaplain says you can call me any time of day if you need anything. But really, do you want to wake a chaplain up at 2 in the morning? Some people aren't comfortable doing that, even though the chaplains put it out there that you can call them any time of day. And that's why Military OneSource is there for you whenever you need them. Again, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Also with going online, you can email a consultant. You can also go online and do your own research. So whether it's that you're looking for parenting materials, you're looking for grieving during the time of deployment, you're also looking at ways to adjust during deployment, or maybe you're looking for a plumber in your community. There's lots of different resources out there for that. Maybe you're the parent and you've been left with that golden retriever, and you're not sure how to take care of that golden retriever when he starts going into heat each month. So you want some resources, and Military OneSource has got a lot of great resources out there, whether it's articles, the different educational materials that I have over there on the table, or also just talking with the consultants. We can also do that customized research. When we talk about customized research, maybe you're relocating to a new community, or it's a college that the service member is returning and is looking to go to a college that has a specialization in business administration with a marketing emphasis. We can help to research that and to find him all the colleges or universities within a certain mile radius that can provide him that type of education that he's looking for. It's at no cost to the service members and their families. So whether they're active duty, guard or reserve, activated, non-activated, the counseling services, all of the educational materials are free of charge to the service members and their families. Free of charge to them, but DoD does pay for the services for all of them. It's a private service. A lot of times we hear that somebody might not want to get help because they're afraid that it might be reported back to the chain of command. If a service member's spouse is really having a hard time with the deployment, she might not want to go back to the Family Resource Center or the Family Assistance Center because she's afraid that it might impact her husband's deployment. Or they're going through some financial problems. They might not want to get help because they're afraid it might affect a promotion later on down the line. It's a private service. So those types of counseling sessions, those types of consultations, when the educational materials are sent out, those never get reported back to the chain of command. So people can be assured that it's a confidential and it's a private service. That's not going to affect their military career. There are a few types of sessions that we do have to report back, and that's if it's harm to themselves or harm to another. Meaning if it's suicidal, homicidal, domestic violence, child abuse, or elder abuse, we do need to report this back. And that's just to make sure that those that are being abused are getting the help that they need. Who is eligible? Those that are eligible are also eligible for other military benefits, and this relates to the counseling benefits. But it's available to active duty, guard and reserve members, and their families. We do have a lot of parents here today, so I do want to let you know that you just black and white issue. You are eligible for all of the online services, but you're not eligible for the counseling services. So just be aware of that. But you are eligible for all of the other online services through Military OneSource. We talked about the range of support through Military OneSource, everything from counseling all the way down to healthy habits. One thing that's not included on here is legal advice, legal tips, legal consultations. Buying a new house, going through a separation, a divorce, a marriage, you've got questions regarding that need legal advice. The JAG offices are extremely busy, and so this is just one other avenue that you can go to get legal advice. Talked about the counseling, and I have another slide on counseling, but I just want to mention that it's for short-term issues, relationship issues, family issues, parenting, raising children, questions that you might have regarding that. Money matters like budgeting, debt management, savings and investing. So whether it's if somebody's in trouble with their finances or they're simply planning for the future, we have a ton of different resources out there for that, or just a place to go and get answers. And I think that's one of the biggest things about Military OneSource is when somebody doesn't know where to turn, you've got a phone number to call to ask. Anytime, anywhere, we can help out with that. So even if it's a Veteran Affairs question that you're just not sure if it's Veteran Affairs that you should be calling, or the Vet Center, or if it's United Way, or who you should be calling, you can call Military OneSource, and we're going to refer you on to where you should be going to get the assistance that you need. A lot of times we might refer you back to the Family Assistance Center because they're the ones that are going to have that information, but at least you've gotten the answer of where you need to go. We're also not going to turn somebody away for services. So if a parent calls up and they are in distress and they need assistance, we're going to walk them through on a consulting basis through our consultants on the phone. We're going to walk them through the crisis that they're going through, and then we're going to get them the resources that they need to help them. Maybe it's that we're referring them back to their community. We might refer them back to a VFW, or we might refer them back to their own church. If it's that they just need a support group to go through. But we're going to help them, and then we're going to find them resources that they are eligible for to get the parents the help that they need, or the siblings the help that they need. Another area I want to point out is lifelong learning. Service members are going to come back here, they're going to have a ton of money to go to school, or they're going to actually have no money at all to go to school because they blew it all on internet shopping while they were overseas, which is a story I heard last week. Somebody was over there for 12 months and successfully spent $42,000. I don't know how you do it, but you're in the middle of the desert. How do you you're over there, how do you spend that much money? But they successfully did that, and so they're going through some debt consolidation now that they're home, and are also looking for some scholarships for college. They've got their GI Bill, and they also have some other educational benefits, but he needs some money to live on, so we're trying to help him through some of that. But with the lifelong learning loans and scholarships, you can go out to Military OneSource, give them a call, and give them some demographic information. They can look up what types of scholarships that service member, that soldier might be eligible for. And people say, they've got their GI Bill, they've got all this. But if there's benefits out there, why not take advantage of those benefits that can help you get an education or help them to get an education? We had a Navy sailor out on the West Coast, I don't know if it was Washington or California, who was getting ready to retire and wanted to put his son through college, but knew he couldn't afford to do it on his own and called Military OneSource to find out how we could help him. And we were able to find him 13 different scholarships that the son was eligible for. He actually received 9 of those scholarships, so paid for his college. And yet the father could still stay for his retirement, not live in his son's basement when he got too old because he paid for his son's school. So that's one of those things that we always say, save for your retirement and find other ways to pay for your kids' college. But, looking at addiction and recovery, it's going to be a tough time when the soldiers come back. And know that you've got different resources out there to make sure that you can keep an eye on them and make sure that they aren't turning to other things like drugs or alcohol to wash away their problems. So there's different resources available. Any question on the range of support, the different services that we offer in that area? Healthy habits, another big area. Stress management, making sure that all of you are taking care of yourselves. I'll talk about some of the CDs that we have available as well. The face-to-face counseling is provided by DoD at no cost to service members and their families. There are 6 counseling sessions that they can go to in their community per issue that they're dealing with. So as a spouse right now, you might be going through some hard times being a single parent for the past 12 months. You can go through counseling to help you to deal with that issue. Maybe when your spouse returns, they're going through some hard times, just adjusting back to family life, maybe adjusting back to going back to work, having a hard time dealing with coworkers that are not understanding what he's going through. So he can go through counseling for that. Then as a couple, if they want to go through counseling together, you can go through the counseling together for family counseling or couples counseling. Also, I know we have a girlfriend in the audience, that premarital counseling. They have the prep programs through the states, really getting you ready for marriage. And I know Wisconsin does it pre-marriage, and I don't know if Minnesota does it pre-marriage, but you can go through the premarital type counseling through Military OneSource, as well as going through the chaplains program on the prep workshops. So really making sure that you've got those communication lines open before marriage to keep those marriages sound and strong. But again, there are licensed counselors within the communities, and Minnesota has a very strong network of counselors in the community. The way that you access that counseling is you simply call Military OneSource, and we get you set up with those counselors in the community. If you're not billed for those counseling sessions, it's a direct bill to Military OneSource. Short-term problem resolutions, things like family issues, adjusting to return from deployments, grief counseling, and couples issues. Some things that we don't deal with are medical related. So for example, if somebody needs medication, we're not able to help with those because ours is simply meant to be that short-term problem resolution. We also have the specialty consultations. Financial counseling and financial planning is, if we look at the biggest hits on our website, it's healthy habits and also financial areas. It's hard to make ends meet sometimes on a military income, and especially if you're used to a regular income, that full-time job, that civilian job, and then having to change to a military income can kind of be challenging. So the financial area with the counseling and planning is for that just in time when you've got debt consolidation or trying to live on a smaller budget. Hundreds of different resources out there, as well as our consultations where we have counselors that'll sit with you on the phone. We set them up as individual sessions where we ask you to bring your paperwork together, sit with the consultant on the phone, and go through maybe a budget and how you can make it work for the next 12 months. Going through a budget on planning for your future. Maybe it's to plan for retirement. Maybe you're looking at saving to buy a house. Saving for your child's education, or maybe saving for your own education. We can help walk you through some of those steps. One of the neat things about going through Military OneSource for financial planning is that we're not going to try to sell you something, because we don't have anything to sell you. We don't have CDs or money market accounts we want you to put your money in. And today, if I put you in the stock plan, I don't get any commissions on that stock plan. So with Military OneSource, your money is being, all we're doing is helping you to put your money in the right place and not necessarily trying to sell you on a specific plan. So that's something that's neat. Also, as we get up into that sandwich generation, taking care of our parents, maybe helping our parents to take care of grandparents, looking at elder care and adult disabilities, some things that you might not plan on having to deal with. And also for the parents in the room, know that your children have a resource to help you as you grow in age and need some assistance. I want to talk a little bit about translation assistance very briefly. It doesn't look like we've got that diverse of a group where I've got somebody in here that's not understanding what I'm saying in the Spanish language or something, but we do have translation and interpretation services available. This really is important for the active duty more so because they're moving between countries. But know that if your service members come back, your soldiers come back with any sort of documents that need to be translated, Military OneSource can help to translate those documents. Or if you work with or deal with other service members that maybe speak Spanish or Hmong, and the Family Assistance Centers are trying to get some information across to them, that we can help with that interpretation and those translations to help make sure that all the military families are being helped. The educational materials, this is the fun part because we've got over 3,000 different educational materials that you can order online or by calling a consultant. Some of our educational materials include DVDs like this one. Does anybody have children at home? You do? Did you get a copy of this at all? Talk, Listen, Connect. It's a Sesame Street DVD. Okay, I'm going to let you have this copy, but what this is, Sesame Street and Walmart partnered together and put together this DVD, and Elmo's dad deploys. So he goes away, and this talks about being able to talk, listen, and connect with your children during deployment. So he might be coming home in a little bit, but this is going to be a great DVD for your kids to watch. You could pass that down. Told you there'd be lots of good giveaways this time. Also, if you're a spouse and you didn't receive a copy of These Boots is a CD that was put together by a Navy spouse, and her name is J.C. Eckert. She's an 18-year Navy spouse who survived through 5 deployments, 14 moves, and 3 children. So she talks about things to expect on a deployment, pre-deployment, during deployment, and on that reintegration at reunion time. So if you're a spouse, highlight this on your sheet and go ahead and listen to it. Would anybody like this copy? You would? Here you go. Some other ones that we have, Parenting the 21st Century, Staying Strong as a Couple, lots of different ones out there, but I'm going to talk about some of those when we get back to, when we go out to the website. The ways that you can get the educational materials, go online. You can also call a consultant to get those sent to you if you don't have internet access, which is nice. All of our services are available either online, or if you don't have email or internet, you can call the consultants directly. Some special offerings that we put together through Military OneSource, things like webinars, special needs webinars, financial webinars. We publish all of those in our OneSource Connection newsletter. And these come out through the family programs. And what we've done to make sure that a wide array of people can get them is we've made them available online as one of our standard newsletters. And I'll show you how you can subscribe to this. But it's giving you some of the latest offerings through Military OneSource, and also what's a hot topic. Right now, something that's big is the post-deployment health screenings and health reassessments. Making sure that the service members that are returning are getting all the information that they need post-deployment. Making sure that they're being taken care of post-deployment. So those are what some of our articles are about. Also, disciplining your young children, a new CD that came out that we're offering, so they talk a lot about that. And also summer camps is one that's hot right now because April is the month of the military child. So OSD and DOD is taking a strong focus on the military child this month. And those are some things that they cover in the newsletters that you can subscribe to. In addition, some of the other special offerings, right now we have 18 different topical sheets that are available. I've provided each one of you 2 of those topical sheets, but there's another 18 that are available online. What we've done is consolidated all the different educational materials, and I shouldn't say all of them because we don't have them all listed, all 3,000 listed on here, but ones that relate to like deployment and reunion. There's also one out there now for reunions and combat stress. So some things to keep an eye out for. And I'll show you that on the website so you can go and review that one. But again, we've got them in couples, single issues, so if you're a parent of a single soldier, it might be worth taking a look at some of the materials that are available for your single soldiers as well. Money matters, financial planning, and getting out of debt, so there's lots of different materials available on that as well. Talked about the Sesame Street offering. That was, again, another special offering that we had through Military OneSource. And then the tax filing and tax preparation services. Military OneSource does offer free tax preparation and tax filing for service members. Yours are deployed this year, so you probably deferred on your filing of taxes because of being in the AOR right now. But know that the free tax preparation and filing is going to be available for them. A little bit about the website. One, that there's the newsletters that are available. They can email a consultant from out here. And right over here on the right side of the screen, you're going to see that the phone number is right there on the main screen. Often if you go to a website and you just want to call them to find something out, you cannot find that phone number. It's buried somewhere. Even an email address is buried somewhere because they are hoping that everything out there on that website is going to give them the end-all be-all answer. We put it right there on the main page. We've also put email a consultant out there. So if you don't want to call a consultant, but you just have a quick question you want to ask, and it doesn't matter if it's the next day that you get the answer back, it doesn't need to be instantaneous. You can go ahead and email the consultants as well. Include your return telephone number and they'll return your call or they'll send you an email back. Also, workshops available online. I had talked about the special needs webinars that we offer, the financial webinars, different bulletin boards, calculators, self-assessment tools. How stressed are you? Are some of them that you can go through. Also healthy habits ones and making sure that you're staying healthy are some of the other self-assessment tools. And then also links to other military resources. And I'll go ahead and show you some of those on the website. As I mentioned, each one of you can get your own login and password for the website. And when you go in and create a username, you're going to go in, you're going to click on Join Now. Select your branch of service. So I know that we had a Navy parent in here, and I think that was it. But some active duty parents. When you go in and create your login and password, you're going to select the branch of service. And then it's going to come up and it's going to ask you what your unit or location is. For those of you that are associated or affiliated with the National Guard, you're going to go down to National Guard, Minnesota, and that's going to be the one that you select on. All you need to do then is enter in your username, your email, and a password, and then attest that you're eligible for the services. Again, because all of you are supporting your military soldiers or Navy sailors and service members, you can attest that you're eligible to access Military OneSource online. And then you save that out and you have your username and password. From there, you can also go down and you can subscribe to some of our free newsletters. I'm going to select on more newsletters just to show you that there's some related to Guard and Reserve, the Military OneSource Connection, which is the newsletter that I showed you that has all the latest updates, as well as Single Life in the Military, Parenting, Caring for Your Baby, Raising a Toddler. So there's all different newsletters that you can subscribe to online. Those only get sent out twice a month. So they're going to be sent out, one batch is going to be sent out the first week of the month, the next batch the second week of the month. And with those newsletters, you're not going to be, or with a login and password, you're not going to be spammed throughout the month on all different kinds of mailings. If you are receiving mailings from other people, remember that at the bottom of the page it should always say that you can unsubscribe to something. And we do have that on Military OneSource as well, so if you don't want to receive the newsletters after you start receiving them, you can simply click on unsubscribe and you can go in and change your options and unsubscribe. So just remember that if you're getting all kinds of spam mails and stuff like that. I'm going to show you, take a little walk through the website, and I'm going to log in. My login happens to be Happy Feet. Well, it's Happier Feet because Happy Feet was already taken. Do you guys know what Happy Feet is? Did everybody see the movie? Little penguins, lights around? So we've got the website set up, and I've got my login and password is up here at the top. I'm logged in as an Army user, so I've got some Army OneSource information up there. Down here on the left-hand side, my related links. They are all Army related. I've got the Army website. I've also got my different National Guard hero programs, so we know it's the National Guard that I'm logged in as. I can also click over here and go out to the National Guard of Minnesota. So I can click on my installation. Oops, and I apologize, I'm not going to be able to get to it from here because they've got blockers set up. But when you are back on your computer, you're going to be able to click out to get to National Guard of Minnesota information out to their websites. So know that you've got those links handy for all the different websites in Minnesota that you might need access to. Also from here, and this is kind of a fun area, is you can search. And I'm just going to put in stress as my search option and see how many articles we come up with that are related to stress. There are 628 articles, educational materials related to stress out there online. If I want to narrow my search down, whether it's a specific article I'm looking at, or if it's a booklet or recording, we can narrow the search down. So I'm going to narrow down that search, and I can see that now I've got 19 different educational materials that are a booklet or a recording related to stress. A couple of them that are kind of good, and this month happens to be National Humor Month. So we've got National Month of the Military Child, and it's National Humor Month too. So this is a great CD to listen to. Somebody in the last class was telling me how they were actually sitting at their computer at work with the headphones on and laughing out loud at the CD. Lots of great stuff on here on how to handle stress with humor. So with this one, we're going to add it to the cart, but who in here has done online shopping before? You guys go out there online and you find it, whatever you're looking for, you kind of search for it, and then you simply just add it to your cart. So they're going to come one of two ways. Sometimes one of three ways, but usually one of two ways: FedEx, UPS, sent directly to your home. So that's kind of a neat resource that's out there for you. Again, all of the educational materials that are available can be ordered online or by calling 1-800 number. One other area I want to show you is the About Military OneSource area of the website. With the About Military OneSource area, as Chaplain Morris told you earlier, all the soldiers returning, all the service members returning are going to get the same exact briefing. But the only thing is they're not going to listen. They're not going to hear it. So you're going to remember that when they're going through some tough times, or when they're looking for information, you're going to remember Military OneSource, but you're not going to remember exactly what it was that we did. So you can come out to the About Military OneSource area of the website, review exactly what we do, and who we are, and you can also go down to the topical sheet area and view all the different topical sheets. There's one that I'm going to really recommend that you all go out and look at, and that's the Reunion and Combat Stress. This is one of the newest ones that's out there. I apologize I didn't have a copy for you. It just got put out there last week. So that's one that you can go out and review. It's going to have some great resources out there on your reintegration periods and your reunions with your families. What they should expect, what you should expect. Also, the different couple ones that are out there, Staying Strong as a Couple, these booths, those are some other really great ones, as well as the 2 stress ones that we had ordered and had sent to Connie. So take advantage of those, go ahead, read them, listen to them. The other area that I wanted to show you is when you came in today into the conference center, into the auditorium, there was a DVD playing or a CD playing, Letters from Home by John Michael Montgomery. You can order that one online and you can listen to that one online as well. And that was Letters from Home video. So you can view that one online as well. Our time is just about up. I want to make sure that I answer any questions that you might have regarding Military OneSource.
So this is only for active duty, when they're in active duty. So when they come home?
That is a great question. This program is available to you and your family 365 days a year, regardless of activation status.
Okay.
So eligibility is Guard and Reserves, active duty, all branches, available 365 days a year. If they do separate from the service, meaning that they retire from service, they're eligible for 180 days. If they simply separate from service, they're done, they've done their 6 years, they've done their 4 years, and they are put into the IRR status or Individual Ready Reserve status, they're still eligible during that time. The main reason that Military OneSource is brought online is to make sure that military members and their families were in that ready mode. And that's why it's still available to the IRRs. But no, you're eligible 365 days a year. Whether it's the counseling, going onto the website, calling the consultants? Great question. Thanks for clarifying. Anyone else? I want to thank you for supporting your soldiers. Thank you for coming out today. It's a great program that Minnesota's put together.